Hi Stampers, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm going to start a little series. It's going to be around the designer series paper that's on sale. And the next 3 cards I do are all ones that I'm doing for my camp, which is tomorrow. So sometimes they like to watch them before camp, but this time I didn't design them until the day before camp. Not all of them, some of them I had done, but these 3 that are using the designer series paper, I just made today. Nothing like wait until the last minute. Hey, that's my life right now. But I wanted to remind you all that some of our fabulous paper is on sale this month. So if you're watching it in July, that's when it's on sale. If you're watching an old video, then probably no longer on sale. I'm going to use the Wildcats, Big Cats, it's something cats paper on today's project. But before I do that, I wanted to remind you that if you love paper and you love layouts and you like cards that can be simple, some of our great papers right now, even this one, and I'll show you in a second, you don't have to have the stamp set. Like the succulents, this one, there's a couple of them where there are enough patterns on it that you could cut them out. You don't even have to have the dies. And then you'd be able to make some great cards. So this is a jungle print kind of paper, and you might not want the cats. I'm going to not use the stamps that go with it. I like to mix my sweets up, because if you already have them, you might as well get as much bang for your buck, right? And then the other thing is if you love the papers and you love the layouts and you love all that, you'll want to do my holiday try-it class that's coming up. I do a try-it class for every new catalog that comes out. And so the holiday catalog comes out August 3rd. The try-it class will take place in early August, all online. I'm going to close registration before the end of July because it's getting very close to being full, but we're also taking a vacation and I want to have the try-it class out before we leave on vacation in the middle of August. So you'll have your stuff soon. And the fun thing about the try-it class is then you get to see all of the new papers, not every design, but in the videos, tutorials for each project, I will show you each and every paper. And then, so every card's based on a paper. You have the paper, every card has a new ribbon or a new embellishment or a new punch or a new die cut or something all mixed in. You do not have to have a die cut machine, and you don't have to have any particular stamps. You'll just add some sentiments to your cards at the end if you want to. I am going to quickly, unless you do one of my classes, you don't usually get to see it, but I'm just going to quickly show you the try-it class that we did for the annual catalog. And I feel like we just literally did it. The catalog this year, the catalog dates are being readjusted. Thankfully, because of COVID, the July catalog wasn't ready until August. Otherwise, I would just feel like we were right on top of each other. But we did 12 for that class. For this one, there will be 10, and there'll be some celebration papers in it too. So you can see that most of them have some kind of a fun fold, because I like to try to get as many papers on as you can. So these are the ones that we did for the try-it class that just happened, the annual catalog. And here's like a specialty paper. So I try to get a ton of paper on. This one is a gatefold with a belly band. So that way you get to see as many papers as you possibly can, because I scrunch them all on there, and then you can see they all have new ribbons, new embellishments, all kinds of fun things. I do have a card coming up with this. Yeah, what was the other one I did? I just made 3 for camp. You would think I could remember. So we've got the tigers, and here's what I mean by you can just cut this, in this case, the leopard out of a card, and then you have it. So that class does come with all the paper supplies, the ribbons, the embellishments, and then a fun PDF book that has the links back so you can have access to the videos forever. And it has all of the measurements that you need. So for this one, I'm going to use the Wildcats. It is one that's on sale. So you can tell one side of the paper is kind of more neutral. The set also has a fun leopard print embossing folder, which I'm not using on this card. So here's the one side. And then when you flip them over, that's where all the fun happens. And then there's lots of cats that you can cut out. So even if you don't have the dies, you could still make a few fun jungle themed. We're getting ready to go to Disney, and I love this paper because we are staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So we went there for our honeymoon. We went lots of places on our honeymoon, but Epcot we went to. So we just had our 30th anniversary. So we'll be going back, and we're staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So this paper will definitely come if I make a little scrapbook of that trip. Can't wait to stay there. And we usually stay at Fort Wilderness in the cabins, which are fabulous as well. So I'm going to use Hats Off no of the stamps from that matching paper, because you don't have to have the stamps that go with the paper. You can mix and match. So this is a super fun set. It has the hat, so it can be for guys or girls. Anybody that plays sports. When my daughter played golf, this little Go Team on this hat would have been perfect for golf cards. So don't think of it as a sport. Don't think of it as just guys. There's tons of different things. It has Here's to the Next Adventure, to the guy that wears many hats. I'm your #1 fan. And then the dies that I'm not going to use, I wanted to show you because I have a girlfriend who's a huge Buffalo Bills fan. So there is a buffalo. Not quite sure why they got a buffalo and we couldn't have a horseshoe, but you know, that's what it is. It has the little things that you can cut out, which we'll use one. Then it has a tiny little baby hat, and it has a fish. So these little dies right here, if you have a superhero friend in your life, that little lightning bolt could come in handy. It has the fun fish, the star, you could use at Christmas. So super versatile little die set. So to make the card, I have, this is not, it's kind of masculine-ish colors. Gray granite, my very favorite color of all of the colors that we have. So this card could be for anybody really, and for any age group. So I have a black base, I have a gray granite background, and here's our little piece of tiger. And then I'm gonna do my stamping of my hat on here. So I'm just gonna use black. This card comes together really quickly. You are gonna use your blends. And if you saw the cabin card I just did, I love to color with my blends, and you can, that was a card where you really colored with blends. This one is a medium coloring with blends. You don't need very many because the colors in this are kind of subdued. So stamp the hat. Make sure you get a nice good impression. And then I'm going to stamp Go Get 'Em Tiger, which is perfect for this. I wanted to use the jungle paper, but I didn't really want to stick with the sweet because I like to mix them up, and I hadn't used this yet, and I have used the tiger stamps. So we have Go Get 'Em Tiger there. And then I'm gonna use the little tiger patch for my hat. See, with this hat, you can pick whichever patch you want. You can also use the Give It a Whirl dies, and you can spin different patches on there if you want. Didn't need to for this card because I want it to be a tiger. Got that. And let's go ahead and run these through the die cut machine. So the hat die, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Wait till you see what it does. I hadn't even used it until I made this card. So when I ran it through, I was like, oh, because I could tell it was going to do something. It's got all those lines. So there's one that will cut out your patches, and you can just leave it like this, or you can add the stitching, because you know if it's stitched onto your hat, then it has stitching. So you just kind of throw that back in there. And then this, just real easy, just goes right over the top of your hat. Just make sure that when you lay these down, that you grab it and that you hold on to it, especially until this goes through your machine, because you don't want it to move. Once it's grabbed it, then you can let go. If you're always like, I know I lined that up, I can't understand why my stuff's always not where I put it, then it's probably because you're just letting go. And as this thing smushes, then it can move some of the ones in the back if you're not holding on to them. So got that. And then I'm gonna take my granite piece while I've got this here, and I'll show you the super cool dies after we do the granite. I thought about putting it through the leopard print, but I thought, no, it says Go Tiger, and I don't want people to think that I don't know the difference between tiger print and leopard print. So I'm just going to put it through this really basic texture folder. It's from the In Good Taste Suite. And it kind of just gives it a little bit of jersey feel, a little bit of shirt feel, fabric feel. I thought about putting the hat through it as well, but my hat looked so good when I was done with it, I didn't want to mess it up. So got that. So see how fun that is? It just gives it a nice little shirt feel. Then you're gonna color this in and wait till you see this hat. So when it cuts it out, it adds all of the stitching. Isn't that cool? Super, super cool. And then it did the same thing. It's punched it out from this one, and then it puts that stitching onto your little patch. So it'll look like it's sewn on there. So now let's color this. You are going to get a little bit of a tutorial on blending, but not nearly as much as you got if you watched my cabin one. because this goes together pretty quick. I only have 2 colors, the light and dark of both, of Gray Granite and Cajun Craze. So let's start with the dark Gray Granite, and anywhere where you want there to be shading on your hat, just add some shading. So I want my hat to be granite, but I don't want the whole thing to be dark, and I don't want it to all be light, and I don't want it to all be like blendy. So we're gonna do a couple of coats. So it looks really good. This bottom bit down here that's a little bit shaded, that can just be dark because there's not much there to work with. So the first thing I'm gonna do is try to separate these areas. So anywhere where there's that stitching and where we go from one kind of shady place to another. Not shady like as in shady, but shaded. So add this on here. So now we've got that nice coat of the dark Gray Granite. And now I'm gonna go with my light. I'm just gonna at first blend these lines in so they disappear. Because nobody's hat has a line, a color line. And I know I squeak my blends when I color like this, but if you do round instead of straight when you're blending, the lines disappear faster. So I'm willing to listen to the squeakies so I can color faster. I'm just gonna blend all this in. And now you can kind of go to the middle. See, it's when you go round and round. It's not that my blends are running out. People always give me some helpful tips on not how to make the squeaky noises. I think the squeaky noises mean that I'm using my blends quickly and not taking so long and then having to go back in later and cover up some lines. And you don't want the whole thing to be white, and our patch is gonna go right there, so there's no need to just color on in the middle. So now let's take our dark Cajun. I'm gonna put one line here of the dark. And then of course our tiger stripes are gonna be dark, which he's teensy tiny, so it's kind of hard to get him on there. And then take your light. Just finish this little swish here. And color him in the rest of the way. Usually I'm like careful not to cover up their eyes. I figure this is a patch and his eyes are all the way black anyways. You just want to leave a couple of highlights of white to kind of lighten it up. And then I'm going to take my dark Gray Granite again. Let's go back over here and add. So see, now we're getting another darker color than what we had before. I'm gonna do it down here too. This time I'm gonna mostly keep it to the edges. I'm not gonna add it everywhere. Your blends can really make something come to life. If you saw the cabin card, like in real life, it kind of looks like a painting, which is fun. The nice thing about doing a Gray Granite hat is if you're giving this to a guy, it can also look a little dirty. So you don't have to be super careful about where you color it all. My husband has some really dirty hats. I'm just gonna color the inside of the patch with the dark. And this I'm not blending, I'm just letting it be a dark Gray Granite patch. And then go back one more coat with your light. This card's almost finished. This time I'm gonna use my brush tip. And I'm just gonna kind of whisk some of this in. And now those places where you've left white, you can go a little bit more in, but on this time, you can see there where it hits the second Gray Granite again, it's a little lighter. And just add that. And then over here, I'm just gonna kind of fill that in so when you lay it on your hat, you don't have a white outline. Just kind of swish this on the edges. And that's pretty much it. Just stick all this together now. So we have this fun Gray Granite piece, which will go on first. So you want to get this paper while it's on sale. I know some of you are hanging out, holding, you have your holiday list already created and you know celebrations coming up. But the deal on the paper, this is actually my favorite piece in this set, and I have to cover it up. So I did think about trying to use the leopard. It was the same color and I wouldn't have to use this. But we do have celebration coming up in August, which feels so weird to say. We've never had a summer one before, so it's always in January. So every time I say it, I have to kind of think about it, which you will get free merchandise every $50 or $100 you spend. There's stuff you can pick from, super cool stuff. So I know some of you are waiting, but the papers are really, really good deal. And then it's kind of your choice, but you get a little bit more bang for your buck if you want the paper to get it on sale right now. Plus then you'd already have it. And then when you order next time, you'd be like, well, I'm only spending this much. So adding there we go. Is that not adorable? And then just to kind of finish it off, you can see there's that little black knobby up there. I just took one of our matte black dots. And also, during celebration, there will be specials to sign up with Stampin' Up. But if you sign up now, then your kit could include the holiday catalog, and everybody that's on my team that signs up under me gets to take my Try It classes for free, and you even get the packet for free. So you save $75 right there. Okay, so here's a little thing. When I did this one and I went to cut the camp paper, I thought, well, that looks different. It's because I used crumb cake on that. It looks fine with crumb cake, or you can do it the color of the hat, which is gray granite. So it doesn't really matter. The girls at camp are getting granite because the sun has come out. It wasn't super sunny when I started early this morning getting my camp projects done. So when I pulled that out, I pulled the wrong color. But super cute. Is it just not adorable? It doesn't matter what color it's on. So easy. And that stamp set, you may not have given it a second glance. Same thing with the cat paper, because you may be like, I'm never going to use jungle paper. You don't have to go to the jungle, and you don't have to have a sports person in your life to make this adorable little card. So I will have a couple more, at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 more paper cards that feature our designer series paper. So get it while it's on sale. Go to my website, sign up for my email, and then you'll find out about all the other freebies I am giving you this month as well with purchase. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.